IAMSU. 6 speed, Bentley, just touched down and we finna go dumb, yeah, we on one, just touched down and we, yeah. What's like one of the key investments that you made, like, in your just early stages of your career?
I mean, I've literally paid for everything myself. Like, everything I've ever did, I just invested back into myself. Like, I've never, you know what I mean? Like, I've never not had that mentality. Like, I need to go buy turntables, I need to go buy turntables. Like, I need to save up my money and buy turntables. I need to pay a graphic designer, I need to pay a graphic designer.
Totally, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, someone to do my website, I gotta pay for that. And just always knowing that that's never a bad investment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, investing in yourself is never a bad investment. And so, like, I literally, the whole DJ Men thing, like, chipping out all the time.
Yeah, building.
And you got to do that. If you want to work for yourself, like, you got to build your brand.
Yeah, and you got to be able to hit that road. I know you always on an airplane. You always popping back and forth. You just came back from here, came back from there. What is it like, and how do you mentally prepare yourself for that type of lifestyle?
I definitely have something in me that's just willing to go at all times. Like, I know that might not be normal, but for me it is.
Yeah.
When I was young, being in the North Bay, like an hour outside of Oakland and Vallejo and San Francisco and all that stuff, anytime something was going on, you had to drive there. Yeah. And that's like a little commitment. You know what I mean?
It is.
To be able to be like,
so that's a blast. Petaluma to the city is a blast.
Yeah, so it's like, growing up, I always had that in me. And, I have a lot of friends that grew up around me that are DJs and stuff too. And that's one thing they always say about me is like, this guy at the drop of a dime would get in a car and drive to San Diego. He'll take that 8-hour trip if it'll be a good look.
Yeah, and I'll roll with you on some good look trips.
Yeah.
We've mobbed heavily.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I just always had it in me. So, I fly pretty much every day, every other day. And, I did like well over 100 flights last year. And, just as things get bigger and as it grows, it's just more flights, further flights. It used to be from Petaluma to San Francisco. Now it's from LA to New York or whatever it may be. Yeah. But you just always got to be willing to go if you're gonna be in a better situation by doing it. You know what I mean? Like, that might cost me $500, but in the long run, I might have a career that I might make $500,000.
Exactly.
And so it's like, you just got to do it.
Yeah, and like, I want to talk about how you were my first DJ. That was a crazy time. Like, we went on I don't know what shows those were. Were we opening for Roach gigs?
Man, what's crazy is that, like, I've literally DJ'd for, at some point in time, like, probably every Bay Area artist.
That shit was so crazy.
Yeah, like, it's funny because, like, everybody, I've done like a show or a club or a concert with, with G, Kaylani, Hughes, it's everybody. Yeah. Like, Short, 40.
What does it feel like to have all those people on your roster, like your resume?
It's really dope because I'm really proud to be from the Bay Area. And I really grew up listening to Bay Area music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember being a kid listening to Mac Mall and like all that stuff. And it's like, now that I like know these guys and like can call these guys, like, that's amazing. Like, one of the highlights of like my life is like when E40 calls me in the morning. Like, sometimes he calls me in the morning just to, it's half business, half personal stuff. But like, this dude is literally on my list of the greatest rappers of all time.
Totally. Yeah.
It's like, that is the coolest thing ever. And he's hilarious, obviously, if you know the way 40 talks.
Yeah, just for him to call you and just check in with you.
And he really talks like that. That's like, that's really him.
So, like, you just rubbing shoulders and elbows with people you probably looked up to at one point in time.
Yeah, man, it's great. So, sometimes it doesn't work out for the, you meet your idols and they might come off as assholes or whatever. But for the most part, everybody in the Bay Area, I can say, is a genuine person. You know what I mean? And they're about their business.
Absolutely.
And it's really dope to be able to, like, go on the road. 40 brought me out to Idaho to DJ a show for him one time when his DJ was couldn't make it or something like that, and I got to like DJ a full, like, go on the road with him and do that, and
that's fire. That
yeah,
feeling,
and it's like that, that's crazy. I've done it for a lot of artists, but every time it's a great feeling, and I've also done it for the young cats.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I got to DJ for Kamaya at the Oracle Arena this
hard.
summer, and that was really dope. Like,
that's hard. Cause she opened up for Drake, right?
Yeah. So it's been dope to build that out, to be able to say that at some point in time, like, I've been able to work with and help probably every successful artist from the Bay Area in the last however many years.
For real. And it's like, with that, your name has to be clean. You know what I'm saying? We have to be politicians, myself included.
Yeah.
A lot of things we gotta just, okay, on to the next. Like,
yeah.
So I know that's a difficult and very, like, challenging road to navigate. Like, what's some keys to, like, being able to keep your head on straight in the midst of people always trying to take shots at you, always trying to just accuse you of things? Like, what do you feel like is a way to stay focused?
I think navigating politics is just, it's definitely a superpower if you got it. You know what I mean? If you know how to do it and maneuver and kind of like stay out of the way, but also stay in the way. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely a superpower. And you always have to be aware of politics. Like, every, action has a reaction. So you have to kind of like think about, if you're going to jump to a conclusion, what the repercussions are going to be. And I think that's, you should always keep that in the back of your mind of like, how will this affect me down the line, or how will it affect others? How are people going to react to this? I definitely think you should say what you feel and be yourself. But at the same time, you should keep in mind others.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. It's very difficult to navigate. And sometimes, like you said, you just got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
That's right. And you got to really pay attention and always make your next move your best move. For sure.
Definitely. Like, so I want you to describe like how Young California formed.
Yeah, so back in the day in the North Bay, I was throwing concerts and club nights and all that stuff, and I had a crew of local, because I was like in college at the time, and I had a bunch of other kids in high school and college that were into the same things that I was into, and we had like a promotion company. That's really what it was, and a lot of those cats that were in that promotion company became DJs and promoters and booking agents and that type of stuff. And so it was very successful. I think in 1 year we generated like over $250,000 or something, and I was probably like 20.
That's lit.
Something crazy, right? So when I came to San Francisco to KML, I wanted to create that again on a bigger scale, but I kind of realized that might not happen just because of how things were set up with the big dogs like Live Nation and Bill Grant, all that stuff. So it took me a while. There was probably like 5 years where I kind of had to put that to the side and work on other things. And when I started linking up with the cats in LA and San Diego and Fresno and Sacramento, then it dawned on me. Like, I can rebuild that same concept with people, kind of all over. And I was trying to figure out the name. I couldn't think of like what this is going to be. Like, what's the best way to do this? And I came across the IAMSU Young California mixtape.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is it. Like,
that was a brand right there.
Yeah, and I was just like, I mean, I never asked you how you came up with that for your mixtape. That's actually a better question.
Right. It was weird because it's like, I was thinking the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make something that was a movement. Like, I'm always into thinking of brands. I'm just I'm always thinking about the next thing. So I wanted to make like a movement, but it was like, I feel like I kind of summarized my movement with my sound. And it was like taking things from the olden days,
Yeah.
bringing into the new school of stuff, and just kind of recreating that energy. Like our whole convo has been just about coming with a whole new interpretation of what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I saw the tape, I literally, I know I spent so much time thinking of other things after I saw the tape. And I remember telling you, I was like, Sue, I literally have been thinking about it, and I can't think of anything better than Young California.
Right, I remember that.
And I asked you, I said, is it cool if you use it? And I remember you telling me, you were like, as long as you don't put out like an album or something, because you had just put out the mixtape. You're like, I don't want people searching Young California and like another album pops up.
Exactly.
And I was like, nah, don't worry about it. That's not coming.
And now it's like 5 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
To celebrate that's success. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And it like, just taking a step back and reflecting on everything that's happened in the last 5 years for me and everybody involved with Young California, it's insane. Yeah. It's insane to think about like where we all were back then to where we are now. The people that really invested their time and energy into it. I mean, we literally changed everything. You know what I mean? And it helped a lot of people feed their families. So on and so on.
Yeah, for real. Like Young California definitely helped out. The website is dope. You know what I mean? And people just like it made another movement and made another platform. And that was very necessary. Like So now you on to doing bigger and better things. Like you on the radio every single day. Like talk about that.
Yeah, it's crazy because of everything that we experienced while building the Young California stuff. Opportunity presented itself when iHeartMedia that owns KML 94.9 in the Bay, they were launching a hip hop station, a new urban station in Los Angeles. And everybody found out that this station was about to, turn on, and everybody starts scrambling like, who we got to talk to get a job. And I never thought in my entire life coming up that I would ever be on KML. Like, that seemed impossible, right? Because it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then it was like, here I am sitting in an office in LA, and they're telling me like, oh yeah, you got the job here in LA. And that's
big.
And it's crazy because like I remember, going to LA all the time and being out there and listening to the radio and just being like, wow, dude, this is so amazing. And like, I can't even comprehend if that would ever happen to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was always something that's like, it's like you basically watching Jay-Z on David Letterman or something like that. You're probably like, dude, that's insane. And it's like, but that can happen if you work hard.
Yeah.
Like that can very well happen. And through the Young California stuff, me and the squad, we got on, and now I'm on every day at 5:00, and then we got Young California Radio on Saturdays from 7 to midnight.
Yeah, I appreciate that look too for that pick of the week.
No, it's crazy. Like, because if you think about that signal, it's like I always tell people it's like from Mexico to Magic Mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how many millions of people that station actually touches.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like I've been doing gigs in downtown San Diego, and I can hear the station. Like I'll hear Charisma hitting the Young California drop.
Clear.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is crazy. This is like hours away. But it's that's definitely one of the latest and biggest accomplishments for me, and I'm definitely looking forward to like what's next. Like I'm always trying to figure out. There's tons of DJs, tons of hip hop DJs, tons of DJs from the Bay Area, LA, wherever. It's like, what can I do that will, put me one step ahead of everybody else?
Yeah. So like, where do you see like yourself and the Young California brand in the next 5 years? Like we've already seen 5, but where do you think the direction is going now?
I think it's inevitable that everything's going to evolve. I hope that everything gets to stay around and get bigger and better. And I'm really looking forward to that. But I also think that, there will be more great ideas like the Blessed Stuff, like the Freshman 10, like Young California, like these radio shows. I think that it's, everything's going to evolve, and there's going to be even just bigger and better ideas that are going to come. And everything I do, I look at it as like going to college or going to school. It's like an experience for me, and I try to take that from that experience, how I can use it in something bigger and better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
totally.
Every day we're working on stuff.
Man, I'm excited to see what the future holds, man. You've done a lot for the culture so far.
It's crazy, man.
And you already know you're going to take it to another level.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me here.
Of course, man. We officially tapped in, man.
Yeah, we tapped in.
Let everybody know out there where they can find you.
You can find me at DJ Amen 3000 on all social media. You can check out djamen.com for dates, clubs, concerts, etc., etc. You can hear me on Real 92.3 in LA at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Young California Radio, 7 to midnight on Saturdays. 106 KML. We still got the Damn It's Late Show at 2 a.m. every Friday night.
Yeah, after the club.
Yeah, man. And youngcalifornia.com at youngcalifornia on all social.
Man, appreciate you for coming through, man.
We in here.
Until next time, stay tapped in.
And leave your name at reception. Take my direction. This here's inception. Text and sexting, all of the above. I seen your boyfriend looking at me at the club. Nigga walked up on me like he wanted a phase. Show me a picture of you on his Instagram page. I had to stop for a minute and I thought about it. Let me holler at you, Loc, I tell you all about it. See, things will never change. And that little bitch of yours, she belongs to the game.
And you better join us if you can't beat us. See your girl the Addy and she gon' meet up. Chillin' in my palace with my feet up. Straight up out the baggie, we gon' read up. See your girl the Addy and she gon' meet up. See your girl the Addy and she gon' meet up. See your girl the Addy and she gon' meet. Just touch down and we finna go down.